First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Bob Bradley. I've been here at Heritage High School for 19 years. I've been here a long time at this point. I want to start with a few questions. I may be stealing some of Mr. Fowler's thunder, but I'd like to ask, how many people in here graduated from Heritage High School? Parents, that is. I'm looking for parents. Okay. My next question, how many here have had older children already come through Heritage High School? All right. My third and final question, how many is this your first baby going to Heritage High School? They're usually the ones that show up at this meeting right here. I need to tell you, I fit 2 of those bills. I've already had 2 graduate from Heritage, and I've got one that's going to join your child in the 9th grade this coming year. So, as you probably imagine, we're excited in the house just like you are about what's going to unfold for the next 4 years. But at this time, let me introduce Mr. Fowler. He is our principal. He's got schedule going crazy too, so he's going to speak to you, and he's going to probably get out of here because he's got to go somewhere else for another meeting.
But you've cut off question 2, 3, and 4, so I don't have to speak to that. Welcome to the class of 2019. We're so glad you're here. We know you're very, very busy, but thank you for committing to this hour for your child as they prepare to come to Heritage. We're very excited to have you here. We know that even though we do this for a living, when we go to fill out a schedule for a child, sometimes we can kind of go, well, I'm not sure what they think about that, and how we do that. So it's very important that you get your questions answered tonight. This is, especially if this is your first child to come through, make sure you understand what it is we're talking about. And if you don't get that answer, please let us know, and we'll answer it by email. Also, if you have friends or neighbors and they couldn't be here tonight, we are videotaping this, and we'll put this on our website along with the handout. We will put a PDF of this on our website so that you'll be able to share that. My name is Greg Fowler. I have been here since 1998. Yes, that's a long, long time. But it's been a very enjoyable ride, and I plan to be here at least through your child's time here. So hopefully I will see the class of 2019 graduate. This is a special time for your child. Oftentimes, and I'll say this to you today, and I'll tell you in July when we meet in the gym at open house, I will read almost the exact same thing. And that is this: your child needs you for the next 4 years, just like they have needed you the previous time. Oftentimes parents want to not kind of hover in high school, and the child will say, please don't ever come to that building ever again. Well, I'm telling you, please don't listen to that child, because that child really, really, really needs you. And please know you're always welcome. Just bring your ID with you. Also, because you're here and testing's about over for your 8th grader, please enjoy the last month of 8th grade. Oftentimes people are in such a hurry to get to high school that as testing starts wrapping up, and especially if this is your first child to finish 8th grade, come into high school, it can kind of be a little sad sometimes. But be happy, enjoy it, but don't rush it. Enjoy this last month for 8th grade, and enjoy these next 4 years at Heritage. They go very, very, very fast. If you don't believe me, ask somebody who has had a child come through. It happens very, very quickly. Take the pictures, make notes, continue to put the mark on the door that says first day of high school when you do those things. That's very important. Take time to enjoy that. Like I said, we have a great evening planned for you, 45 minutes. We will have you out of here in 1 hour. But like I said, if you have more questions, please let us know, and we will get those answered for you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Fowler. Piggybacking on what he said, I want to make 2 points on the blue sheet. My email is right there on the blue sheet. Please circle it if you got a pen. The reason I say that, we've got some structured changes going on, and we're not sure who's going to be the ninth grade administrator next year. To be honest with you, we started the ninth grade academy about 8 years ago, and I was the first one, and I had it for 7 years. This past year, I didn't have ninth grade. I've got 11th and 12th grade now, but we're not sure who's going to be taking the ninth grade over for next year. But I assure you, if you walk out here tonight, or in 3 weeks, if you got a question, or you say, yeah, man, make a mistake, and my child doesn't want to sign up for that, wants to sign up for something else. If you will email me, I promise you I will do everything I can to take care of it. So I'm the one you want to circle, because I promise you, if you don't hear back from me, you probably need to call the hospital because I'm sick or something. Because I'm pretty good about getting back with you. So please email me for any questions you have. Some of you have already started emailing. So, I've tried to take care of you if you have. The second thing I want you to note is on the back side of that page, on the right side, it gives the date to our open house, for our ninth grade open house next summer. I hate to even start talking about next year as far as dates already, but it's going to be here before we know it. So that date there is our open house when you meet your child's teachers and get to walk around and find the whole building and turn them loose for the next 4 years. Again, we're going to be quick tonight. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions afterwards. And at this point, let's get started with some of our folks we want to introduce you to. First of all, I want to introduce Ms. Holt. She's the PTSA president. She wanted to speak to you for a moment.
Welcome, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you. My name is Michelle Holt. I'm the first vice president for Heritage High School PTSA. I wanted to read you this quote, which says, "Someone once told me not to bite off more than I could chew. I told them I would rather choke on greatness than nibble on mediocrity." The PTSA is at a wonderful place. We have over 150% increase in our enrollment. We will soon also be having a whole new board. So there's so much that you can do. We really need you to take the passion that you put into your different activities and really put that into the PTSA to see some wonderful things done here. I get so tired of hearing about the magnet school bragging about we did this and we did that. I think that we have an amazing school here, amazing parents. This is Heritage High School. I think about what heritage do you want your children to inherit? What heritage do you want to leave behind? And it really takes all of us, not just a few, but all of us, really working together. So we really, really hope to see you all at open house. Bring your checkbooks, $9. You can sign up, and I want to introduce Mr. William Eckhart, who will be one of the officers that will be here for next year. He is our President Secretary. Thank you so much. We hope to see you in July.
Thank you, Ms. Holt. Next, I'd like to introduce one of our 4 counselors, Ms. Robinson. Ms. Robinson and I were together when we started the ninth grade academy a long time ago. She was my counselor. She was a full-time ninth grade counselor at that time. We've changed and we've split it a little bit. All 4 of them work with all classes at this point. But she and I used to put our hands on every schedule, and we scheduled each individual kid by ourselves, didn't we, Ms. Robinson?
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I guess it's almost good evening. Again, my name is Menaima Robinson. I'm one of the counselors here at Heritage High School. There are actually 4 of us in total. We do have the listing of your counselor designations, so just make sure that you look at that. If I don't cover any of your questions, please feel free to email us. I will tell you this is kind of a busy time for our students at Heritage High School, and just as Mr. Fowler, I think he's gone, but he said, enjoy the rest of 8th grade. We are doing a lot of things with our seniors, we're doing a lot of testing, and we want to make sure we give you the time that you need, but we've kind of got to finish up with our current students in the building. I will tell you that after school is out, we will be in the building for a whole week. So after that Memorial Day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you have any specific questions, shoot us an email and we can kind of give you our undivided attention. There's a yellow sheet that you have. Everybody got the yellow sheet? Okay, let's talk a little bit about our graduation requirements. This yellow sheet, look, you can stick it in a little plastic flyer, put it on the refrigerator. You always know what's coming. You always have our numbers handy. You've got the school number, you've got the facts, so just something that you can reference when you need to know what the graduation requirements are. English hasn't changed. You've got 4 units, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Those are required by all students in Rockdale County high schools. Moving on to math, we've got our coordinate algebra, followed by geometry, typically in the 10th grade. Algebra 2, it's called advanced algebra, so a lot of students start freaking out when they see the advanced. Don't worry about it, it's just algebra 2. Your 4th year of math typically is going to be pre-cal, but we do have some other choices depending on where you're going to college or what type of math that you're interested in. We also have something this year called statistical reasoning. Keep in mind that some of you in 8th grade took Carnegie unit credits that will count towards your high school courses. So just remember that if you might have taken, your student might be taking algebra now, so they're going to start geometry with us in the fall. So 90% of you are going to have this schedule exactly, but there are some of you who might have accelerated your math courses, so it will be a little bit different, okay? Moving on to science, everyone will take biology in the 9th grade, or environmental science. Again, that's kind of just depending on what your stats look like for the 8th grade. We want to make sure that you are placed correctly and that you are in a class where you can reach your highest potential. So biology or environmental science will be one of those choices, followed by physical science or physics. Your third choices are chemistry, environmental science, or earth. Now the way those are listed, you must take those. You've got to take biology, you must take physical science or physics, and you must take chemistry, environmental, or earth. The last and final science, pretty much whatever you like. You might have an elective that you're interested in. I know RCA has an energy and power. If you're in Coach Nag's engineering, I know his 3rd year in engineering applications can also count towards your science requirements. Keep in mind you can't mix and match. You have to have the full year, but there are some choices that go along with that. So science is not as hardcore as maybe the English or the math. There will be some jumping around. Moving on to social studies, we've got American government, which was actually a change this school year. Typically our students were taking the world geography. There is no more world geography, so don't worry about that. You'll be taking 9th grade, a full year of American government for most of you, world history in the 10th grade, U.S. history as a junior, and then your senior year, you're going to have a whole year of economics. So also that is a change because our current seniors are taking half year of economics, half year of government. Also, you got 1 year of PE and health, a half unit. Doug Arnold is here from Rockdale Virtual Campus. He'll talk to you a little bit about that. So if your student is interested in maybe getting that credit during the summer, they can go ahead and take care of that through Rockdale Virtual Campus. Finally, you have 7 units of electives, which includes your CTAE courses, fine arts, MCJROTC, any weight training, any additional courses fall into this category. On the schedule, you will see kind of a typical handout, so that's generally how most of your student schedules will be. Keep in mind you've got the English, math, science, and social studies, and you'll have a few choices for electives. Our electives are really on a first come, first served basis. Keep in mind that we've been registering our current students, and you guys are last, so that doesn't mean you're the least important. It just means that you are just the last people that we have in the schedule. I have not received your schedules yet. We are waiting for those to come in from Edwards and Davis Middle School, so just be patient with us, but they will be in the courier to us soon, and we'll start that during the summer. Okay, I've got a couple other things. I'm trying to say it really, really fast, but I want to make sure you get this information. Our HOPE grant, our HOPE scholarship, I know you guys know a little bit about that, but we do have some rigor requirements that the state has placed upon your students. Keep in mind, the rigor requirements for the class of 2017 and after are 4 courses. But I don't want you to worry about this because your basic coursework for most of you is going to cover that. If you're taking a foreign language and you're in that 2nd year, it's going to count. If you hit advanced algebra, which is really like the algebra 2, and you take that course and anything higher, you're covered. If you take an AP class, you're covered. Your dual enrollment, if you take an advanced science, like maybe chemistry, or biology 2 when you're doing a dual enrollment class, anatomy, forensics. So I don't want you to think that it is your sole responsibility to keep up with that. As counselors, that is what we do. We're always going to try to direct our students to have the largest number of possibilities. okay? So we want you to know that. Now, we don't start narrowing those choices down until maybe they start to get into a little trouble with their academics. But we're always going to push for the highest, so I want you to keep that in mind. May 26th to the 29th, again, if you have specific questions for us, please shoot us an email. And just to piggyback off of what Mr. Fowler had said earlier, kind of the guidance versus the independence, it is definitely not a time to say, okay, they're in the 9th grade, I'm going to give them a little room. Don't do it. Stay on them from the moment they get in this building to the time they walk out, because you'll be surprised, you'll be angry, and you'll be wondering, where did I go wrong, okay? Everybody in this room has went through pre-K, kindergarten, first, second. You get a report card every 9 weeks. It doesn't change, so make sure that you are on it. Personally, I would want to know before it comes out, because when they leave in the morning, I'm going to say, make sure you bring me that progress report when you come home. Not on the back end. So I kind of just want you guys to be very proactive, because they tend to get very savvy once they're in high school. So make sure that you are one step ahead. Thank you for listening. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. I'm going to speak from a personal standpoint. A lot of times with our 9th graders and as they get older, you know, your courses, especially if they're in the Fine Arts Academy or certain CTAE tracks, some of the schedules start to constrict, okay? For 7 years, I've recommended this, and each year, probably 20 people, 25 people hear me and take it for granted and do the same thing. It's completely up to you. For my child, should be taking health online. You got to get in early, because I don't know how quick it fills up, if it does. But I've recommended this every year. It does cost, but that way that spot is not taken up. We have plenty of health here. They can register and go through it here. They can go PE here without any problem, but they have to have health and personal fitness in order to graduate. There's not a senior that graduates Heritage High School that doesn't have health and personal fitness. So all 3 of mine, or the 3rd one will too, will be taking it online. That way it frees their schedule up to take something that they might need, that they can get into. At this point, I'd like to introduce Mr. Green. He'll be speaking for our Academy of Performing and Visual Arts.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mr. Green. I'm the choral director here at Heritage High School. And our fine arts department consists of 5 areas. We have dance, we have instrumental music, we have theater, vocal music, and visual arts. Now, those of you who went through the audition application process back in February, then you're already a part of our academy. But if you didn't and you still want to be a part of the fine arts, there are classes in all of those areas except for dance that you can take just as a general elective. If you are interested in becoming a part of our Fine Arts Academy, we'll start that process again for applications and auditions in the fall, and then we'll have auditions again next spring. So we really hope that you take advantage of all of our areas, because we have a wealth of talent at Heritage High School, and we would just love to have you all be a part of our Fine Arts Department. A quick couple of plugs for some upcoming dates. We hope that you'll come and you'll see what goes on here at Heritage and want to be a part of it. We have our dance concert this Friday in the theater at 7 p.m. Our band concert will be next week on Tuesday, May 5th at 7:30 p.m. Our chorus concert will be in 2 weeks on Tuesday, May the 12th at 7 p.m. And then our drama showcase will be Monday, May 18th at 7 p.m. And all of those, except for drama showcase, I believe are free to the public. I think it's $5 for drama showcase. So please do come and see what's going on here at Heritage, because we have a fabulous fine arts department and we really want to see you all here being a part of it. I will be here if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Mr. Brandon. And I know we're going fast, but we're trying to get you as much information as we can. But before I move to Mr. Arnold, I did get a note this afternoon that RCA couldn't be here tonight. They wanted to be here, they couldn't be here tonight. Anybody that has gone to RCA or applied to RCA, I'm usually have to be the bearer of bad news. Everybody wants all these classes over there, but then I have to turn around and say, hey, we're 9th graders. We start with the 12th and go all the way down to 9th. There are some available, and but they wanted me to let you know they hadn't got your schedules yet. They have to, the middle school has to release them before they can get their hands on them, just like we can't get our hands on them too. At this point, like I said, we're trying to finish the year out with the high school, get them tested, get them graduated, and get them moving towards next year. And then we'll start probably in about 3 weeks with our 8th grade schedule. So we still have plenty of time. But they wanted me to let you know that, hey, if you've asked to be in one of their classes, that they don't think it's not going to happen. They're hanging on, and once they start the registration process, we'll get them first, and they'll call us and say, okay, this person's in this class, this person's in this class, and we need them for that. Okay? At this time, I'll introduce Dr. Arnold. He's from Rockville Virtual Campus, and he's the one that'll be in charge of the PE and several other courses he'll speak on.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Good evening, everyone. Just to be very brief, we do have a program that's offered during the summer. It's through our online school. And what we have is, in particular for the students who are rising 9th graders, is there's an opportunity for you guys to take care of, in particular, either health and or personal fitness. Those are two one-semester courses that are required for graduation, as Mr. Bradley said. We do offer those in an online format. It's not completely online. There are some face-to-face requirements, but it's in a very flexible environment. Actually, one of our great teachers is actually a heritage teacher, Coach Betsy Broach, who teaches here. She teaches for us, and she will, and our staff will lead you through those courses during the summer. We start June 1st, and orientation is the first 3 days, depending on the course that you're going to be signed up for. And again, this is a voluntary thing. The registration form is on our county website, so you can click on that as soon as you go to the county page. You can one click and the registration form is there. The cost this summer is only $40, which is much less than it's been in the past. And thinking in the future, it's probably much less than it will be in the future as well. So $40 per semester course, and it is a Carnegie unit credit that counts towards high school graduation. And the health and personal fitness are definitely available for any of the students here to free up their schedules to help you guys take advantage of all the opportunities that you have here at Heritage for all of the courses that are available. So,
thank you, Dr. Arnold. He does a great job with that, and they're very organized. If you have questions about Rockville Virtual, though, you have to ship them to him. Or you can email me and I'll forward them, but I can't tell you what all they do. But like I said, I highly recommend the health and PE online, and I won't say that again. Very fortunate because I never twist arms with our people when it comes to outside. And you can see all the folks here, we don't twist arms at all. They volunteer to come here. They're a great group, and they'll be the ones working with your students. So I'd like to introduce several of them right now. I'm going to start with our technology department, CTAE, Mr. Snag. He's going to speak for the CTAE.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Marty Snag. This is my 4th year at Heritage High School. Came from Edwards Middle, 25th year in education. Don't look it though. I'm just going to piggyback off what Ms. Robinson mentioned earlier about the CTA programs. I think I handed out this earlier. If you did not get one, I'll give you one later on. But basically, this is a breakdown of all our CTA programs and what's offered. Your student has an opportunity to take one of these courses as a pathway. So the first course in the pathway is an introductory. That student has an opportunity to move on throughout the pathway, and most of these pathways last sometimes 3 to 4. So after the first year, they can choose to go on and continue into the pathway for the 2nd and 3rd year. At the end of the 3rd year or 4th year, he or she has the opportunity to complete a pathway exam. Some of my students actually are doing it right now. They did one today and doing another one tomorrow. Okay. Upon successfully completing the pathway, they will receive a certificate similar to this one. And that means they have completed the pathway. The main heart and soul of the CTA program is to have students be prepared and ready for college and also a career. Around my neck is a senior card that the student has an opportunity to purchase after completing the pathway. And that gives the students a recognition that, hey, I completed the pathway, and it really makes them feel good about it. But we can speak to you more about it individually with the teachers, and any questions, we can talk to you later. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Snag. Next, I'm going to be introducing Mr. Hanahan. He's in charge of our social studies department, but I'm going to speak to a point there first before he does. We have a change on the blue forms that y'all turned in for Heritage High School. It came about this week, as a matter of fact. If your child happened to sign up for AP Human Geography, we're probably not going to have that this coming fall, okay? We're probably going to do away with the AP Human Geography. And the reason is because the county has said every student, every ninth grader must take a full year of American government. So what we are going to do is we're going to have AP American government for our ninth grade as an offer for our ninth grade. Now, what we are saying is you need to have, and we're not supposed to sort out, and we're not going to sort out students based on it, but this is a college level class. So if your child doesn't have at least a 1250 Lexile score, which means they're reading about a senior level, they probably don't need to sign up for it. It's a college level class where they'll start and they'll run pretty quickly, and we won't have any time to prop students up. But it does give them an opportunity to take an AP class as a ninth grade. We started that 3 or 4 years ago with the human geography. I thought it was a great idea for our ninth graders. The other schools were doing it, and I wanted that opportunity for our kids. And so, but with the county saying we're going to have a whole year of American government, I knew that was going to lock out some of the human geography, so I felt like this was a good swap. So there'll be several opportunities. You'll have American government, you'll have honors American government, you'll have AP Prep American government, and then we'll have AP American government, which is an actual AP course where there's an AP exam at the end. So let me introduce Mr. Marion Hanahan right now. He's in charge of our social studies department.
And Ms. Robinson and Mr. Bradley's making my speech very brief. But just to reiterate what Mr. Bradley was talking about with AP government, if your child can do it, we want them to do it. It's just a lot easier to start with a good GPA. Your first year is going to set the tone for the next 3. It's similar to being a freshman in college. It's a lot easier to maintain a good GPA than to try to bring one up. And so we just caution you to really analyze that and see where your child is before you sign up for that class. I was going to talk about all the offerings, but Ms. Robinson did that as well. So I'll be here after to answer any questions you have about the course or what's offered next year.
Thank you, Mr. Hanahan. Next, I want to introduce another one of our teachers in the science department, Mr. Darius Freeman. Big Falcon fan anyway, too.
Good evening, I should say. I am Mr. Freeman. I'm also an alumni of Heritage High School, which is weird. I came back to teach at the place I graduated from. But I'm also the science department chair and the assistant marching band director. So any questions you may have, I will be here after the fact. We covered most of the course listings. Some of the senior offerings that we did not mention were forensics, anatomy, AP Environmental Science, and a couple of other AP Science courses. I teach AP Chemistry as one of the offerings. So we do have a lot to offer to your students as they progress academically.
My next teacher I'd like to introduce is Ms. Julie Kimball. She's in charge of our English department. She had graduates that came through Heritage too.
I did. Heritage is the home for all of my daughters who graduated from here. And I've been here about 10 years, and I'm the English department chair. And some of the classes that Ms. Robinson already mentioned what our classes are required for English, but we have some electives that are really fun in English too, like journalism, which is yearbook, and then we also have the newspaper, and we have a school newspaper here that is really, really good. Of course, I do the newspaper, so I really like that. But and as a junior and a senior, they have the opportunity to take AP Language and then AP Literature. And we also have public speaking class as part of English, our English department too. Mr. Bradley wanted me to talk a little bit about summer reading to you. I know a lot of you are like, oh, summer reading. I have a really awesome suggestion for you for summer reading to get your kids to read it. Are you ready? Read the book with your child and have a discussion about the book with your child. It's an awesome opportunity, and like Mr. Fowler and everybody's been saying, it seems like I just got our 9th graders from this year, and now they're going off. And it goes really, really fast. It's like this, and your kids are out of high school and then they're gone. So take the time you can with them this summer, read with them. And the summer reading stuff will be on the Rockdale County website. All the requirements are going to make it really easier to do this year. So as you're helping your child pick a book, pick one that you like as well.
Thank you, Ms. Bennett. Novel idea, reading with your child. I'd like to introduce another teacher, Ms. Kelly Elder. She's in charge of our math department.
Good evening. As I said, my name is Kelly Elder. I've been in Heritage for about 8 years now. For 9th grade, we actually have 3 options, and it all kind of depends on, well, actually there's 4 options, depending on what they took as an 8th grader. We do have coordinate algebra with support. We have coordinate algebra, just a regular single class of coordinate algebra. We have accelerated coordinate algebra. If your child took coordinate algebra in 8th grade, they do have the option of taking analytic geometry in 9th grade. If they took accelerated coordinate algebra in the 8th grade, they could take accelerated analytic geometry in the 9th grade. So actually there's 5 choices. Good thing I teach statistics. But there are multiple options. We want to make sure that we can meet your child where they are and make sure that we fill in any gaps that they might possibly have, because as we all know, math builds, and so we want to make sure that they're successful. As Coach Hanahan said, we want them to start off in the right place so that they can build their GPA up and not have to try to come out of a hole because they were put into a place that they weren't ready for.
And she made a good point there. You know, it's easy to walk in there and say, well, you know, okay, well, I'm going to grab this math, and if it's not right for her, we can move it. First of all, it's very difficult to change once you get in high school and you're 6 weeks in or 8 weeks in. The second thing is most of those courses are completely different courses, even though it's accelerated analytic geometry, accelerated coordinate algebra or coordinate algebra. They are different courses and they teach different things at different times. So you can't just jump from one to the other. So it's really, really important that we get them placed in the right place. You know, we go by numbers, we go by 8th grade recommendations, we go by the teacher recommendations. So we have, but you still have the right to come in and say, no, I don't believe that, I want to do this. And a lot of times, sometimes it can cause harm for us. So we need to make sure they're in the right place. I have the pleasure of introducing Ms. Hauser now. This is her second year with us. She's the most positive person here at Heritage High School, so that's right, she's speaking to you tonight.
Thank you. And Ms. Kimball, I have to say, you made my evening. Mr. Bradley, I will expect weekly book reports this summer on your summer reading that you do with your child. So I'm looking forward to that. Like Mr. Bradley said, my name's Ms. Hauser. If you need to call me and you can't remember my name, think back to that TV show, Doogie Howser, and that's how you pronounce my name. I've even been called with Miss Doogie. I need to speak to her. Jenny will know who you're talking about and page it back to me. I'm excited about Heritage. I'm excited to get a new bunch of students in here. I drive an hour to be at Heritage every day because I love it. And when I go home to Griffin, I talk to my friends I taught with, they go, we don't care how wonderful it is, okay? They're sick and tired of hearing how wonderful Heritage is. It's a great place. The kids are awesome. Part of what makes it an awesome school are the parents that support us, and it's just a big family. And one of the things you 8th, 9th graders, I'm going to need help with next year. We brought PBIS in a little bit this year. How many of you did PBIS at your schools this year? Uh-oh. Because I just heard how well the middle schools were doing with this. So here's what we're doing this year with the PBIS. And these are our 3 R's for success at Heritage. Be respectful, be ready for class, and be responsible. And it's a way to regulate our behavior because, yes, we're in testing season, but one of our big things is getting kids ready for the real world and how to function and behave in everyday functions. We don't get a test on that, but there's a lifelong test on that. It's a great place. You will love it. I'm excited to be here. So excited I want to move to Rockdale and sell my house because this is a community I want to be a part of. So it is an awesome place. I'm going to break Mr. Bradley's pattern. I do it all the time. He's gotten used to me. I want to introduce our next guest because she's an awesome example of one of our students. Miss Jamie, come on up here. She's going to speak to you what it's about to be a freshman.
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I recently transferred to Heritage from the Rockdale Magnet School, and it was an experience. Oh yeah, okay. Being a freshman is completely different from being in middle school. Well, it can be a rocky transition or it can be smooth. You just have to, well, the parents are really something that helps the whole transition, and I guess I'll give the parents some tips about for their kids for being a freshman. So, you know how in the last minute season of science projects and everything like that? Yeah, don't do your child's project for them because once they get to the science fair and the judges start asking some of them tough questions, whew, they are not going to know what to do. And even though they might not like it, stay on your child. Like, make sure they're doing their work. Like, treat them like they're in elementary school because it's going to help them a lot. Like, stay on them about the work, make sure they have an agenda to write everything down in, and make sure they're keeping up with their teachers and network with teachers because it really helps. Like, if you network with your teachers, they'll sometimes be more, open to opportunities like tutoring, extra credit, and some of the things that couldn't be given to students that just don't care. So, well, with coming to high school, you have to be prepared to give your child a little sense of freedom, but don't let them go off the path in 9th grade because it really messes them up and it really, it's really detrimental in the end, and it doesn't help exactly. But if you just stay on your child and you make sure they're doing their work, make sure they're having a good environment to learn in, which is one of the most important things about coming to high school. If you don't feel safe and you feel like you're going to get a fight and there's drama, then you're not going to have a good experience. And 9th grade is one of the best years to have the experience of high school because the teachers are awesome. The school is awesome. This whole school is awesome, and getting to experience it, even in just a semester, I love it, and I can't wait to spend the next 4 years here. So, 3. Let's not back that up.
We're not getting forward to this. Thank you. I encourage you to go online. She wrote a Laws of Life essay as a 9th grader, and she finished 3rd runner-up in the state, which is the highest finish we've ever had from Heritage High School, so I encourage you to go online and look at that. She's a current 9th grader. Every year we've got a 9th grader come on and tell you what it's like to be a 9th grader just finishing up. And also we like to bring a senior up that tells you what it's like for his 4 years here, what he gets. This is Kamori Crawford. He's our morning announcement spokesperson. He's done it for 2 years, and we really do appreciate Kamori and all he's done for Heritage, and we're going to miss him when he's gone.
All right. Good evening, good evening. My name is Roy Crawford. I'm a senior here, of course, at Heritage. I'm in student council, and I'm also part of the Interact Club and a few other clubs here at Heritage. And what I remember from freshman year was my uncle I was living with at the time. He stayed on me about my schoolwork, grades. You know, your grade fell below a 90. You know, what are you going to do about it? And I feel like that's why freshman year is very imperative, because that's the beginning of, you know, a new start. But for the students, what I would say is just work hard, put your schoolwork first, and don't conform. You know, a lot of freshmen, you know, they want to try and be cool and try to get in fights and, you know, do all that other type of stuff. You know, don't conform. You know, you're your own individual, no matter what anybody else does towards you. You know, you decide your own actions and who you're going to be. But for the parents, ask about homework every day, every single day. You know, that's what my uncle did, and that's what really kept me on the right path. But just ask about schoolwork. But let's see, parent portal. You guys need to sign up for the parent portal where you can check their grades periodically. Parent portal will help them and you stay up to date on their grades. But I want to talk about this little book that I have right here. This is, like they said, this is agenda. This stays unstructured, so I don't have to, you know, and this will help a lot of you freshmen stay in clubs, extracurriculars. Just write it down in here, extra homework, projects. So, but yeah, I was recently accepted into Valdosta State University, and so. And I'm a Ronald Reagan Award recipient, and so, you know, this school has really brought me forth and gave me the opportunities that I needed to stay involved, get into extracurriculars, and you'll be successful here at Heritage High School. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Jamal. We're very proud of him. Like I said, you can tell why he also, he mentioned he played football too, so he's a good person to have leading our building, so we appreciate everything he's done for us. Next, he's going to talk about extracurricular and athletics. I'm going to bring up Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade's been here with us a while, too.
All right, I'm going to detour for just a second. Kamoy doesn't know this happens. I'm probably preaching to the choir for those who are here on a Tuesday night with their parents to get ready for high school 6 months early. But occasionally we get an email about, hey, who in the school is the most underappreciated person, or who makes a difference in the school? And periodically I survey the seniors to find out the truth of how they see the school. And across 3 classes, a unanimous vote is not a knucklehead that they're going to remember forever, but it's someone who's on top of things all the time, and it's Kamoy Crawford. A stand-up person every day who's involved in everything, who treats everybody with respect. And if you come to Heritage High School, you will make a difference. You will be remembered for being the better person. Okay, now let's get ready for the main event, which is all the things you get to do at Heritage High School. If you can stay eligible. Those are our 16 athletic events. Or activities, or at least we have 16 varsity teams. When you count the JV and everything, we have like 30 or 40. Probably half the staff have a first-name coach. They want to be here, they want to be in your lives, they want you to participate, they want you to be involved. Right now, if you have not already contacted football and you're interested in football, they are doing spring ball starting next week. Cheerleading is getting ready for tryouts if they haven't already started accumulating that paperwork. Flag Corps is going to be doing that really quickly here. Let's see, what else is there? Cross country starts in June. We're having an informational meeting on the 12th of May. Volleyball will start up like the day we get back or earlier. Softball does their tryouts in July before we're even back at school. So if you want to get involved in the fall in an activity, please get involved. If you're here from the 8:05 to 3:05 part of school, that's not the part you're going to remember. Your memories are going to come from all these other activities you can be involved in. Okay, I am a nerd. I am a big-time nerd. Okay, I remember everything that happened in class, but my memories are all outside of 8:05 to 305. It's all cross country, it's academic team, all right, it's the people I was with 24 hours a day, okay? That's what I remember. In addition to, athletics, before I go on, I have to remind you that you have to pass your classes in high school to participate. You will all be graced with a clean slate when you get here. But by the time we get to January, you will be accountable for your grades every semester. If you're on the basketball team and you don't cut it in the class, you get thrown off right there at Christmas and you don't get to come back. And then everybody's like, oh my goodness, what happened to you? And you get to tell them the shameful thing that you didn't beat me, Matt did. Okay, let's see, what else is there? We gotta pass our grades. You gotta have a physical on file less than 1 year old. If you have a middle school one, get it photocopied and bring it here. Once we have them here, you're cleared for the school year, and you'll have to renew it for a year. So you need a physical. You have to have a lot of paperwork. A waiver, concussion form. Soccer, I think that helps out. To get one, football helps out. Cross country even has to have one. So everybody's got to have that. So there's like 5 forms. They're all available on the Heritage website under extracurriculars. All right, coaches. We also have non-athletic activities, lots of clubs. I count them up, there's 31 in the school. They are all the way from community service groups like Interact to academic team for charming, bright, nerdy people who want to show it off and eat pizza for free forever. Let's see, what else? If you have any questions, contact the school. We'll put you in the right, in touch with the right person. If you want to know about cross country, meet me outside the door. I'll get you signed up and on our mailing list. It's awesome. Awesome. It's probably the one lifelong activity you can do and take with you always and be healthy and live longer. I can tell you the academic advantages of being aerobically fit, and you'll be smarter than everybody else in the room. Come see me. No shameless plug. May 12th.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. But if you heard anything tonight, hear this. Make sure your kids get plugged in somewhere. Studies have shown kids that are plugged in, kids that are involved, are kids that are going to do better in school. Okay? Get them plugged in. I appreciate it. It's been right.